Hey, what's going on YouTube? Marine X back at it again. Normally, I don't do this. I don't review flashlights very often because they're kind of a dime a dozen. Recently, I took a look at the Streamlight Wedge XT because I could just tell there were so many things about it that it really wasn't going to draw my attention. And that's still under testing. But something about this Wuben OW X3 has me completely enticed, completely interested, and I wanted to just do a direct comparison with the Olight Baton Pro, the premium edition. From what I know, these are the only two flashlights currently on the market that have their own charging cases. Comment down below if you know other brands. It is extremely clear that objectively one of these is superior to the other, but it's not as easy as you think. All right, so first off, just comparing these two, we do have two flashlights. Let's take them out of their cases. That they're overall, they do have a lot of similarities to them, and we can kind of talk about which one has better specs. So, of course, we can always read the spec sheets, but I'm going to tell you the things that are most important to me specifically. The Baton does have a half lumen mode, which I super appreciate when I go into creeper status, just having a very, very low lumen mode. This thing can jump up, I think, to 1200 lumens for a turbo mode. I don't script videos, so if I miss any of that stuff, pound sand, comment down below, and absolutely make your YouTube corrections. Now, the Wuben X3 has a 1 lumen mode, doesn't go down a half a lumen, but I mean, that's so close to one another. Doesn't really matter. This thing can go up to a turbo mode of 700 lumens. So they do have multiple modes. They have strobe modes. So the Wuben X3 has a additional light. It has a red light as well, so you can illuminate the light to be red. And it also has a indicator light, which is blue. So this can light up and you can use that however you see fit. You don't have to keep the indicator light blue. You can actually turn it off and still use the flashlight itself. So a couple of more features there. This light only has the white light, so if you want additional lights, obviously more is better if that's something that you're down with. Olight has the superior pocket clip. This goes both ways with a very, very capable deep carry pocket clip. So if you're wearing Dickies or thicker clothing, wool clothing, 511 type clothing, sweats, this is easily going to go in your pocket. You can also wear this on the bill of a hat or something like that. The Wuben flashlight is completely the Wuben pocket clip is almost completely laughable. Very, very stiff. It's going to be hard to put over any of your clothing items. And that's a complaint I've had about Wuben's pocket clips for quite a while. That they really go for the aesthetics versus, Olight's kind of always swing for the fences when it comes to their pocket lights for their pocket clips. Even when they don't have the double pocket clip, they always just seem to make a little bit more sense. So both of these do have the same functionality, as in they have magnetic bases, so you can stick these to magnetic surfaces and go hands-free, which is very, very nice. The Olight has knurling on the side, which makes it a little bit easier to grip, especially if you have sweaty hands or oils or water on your hand, less likely to drop it. This entire light does glow in the dark once you get dark enough. If you get the white edition, it comes in multiple colors, but this whole thing will glow in the dark, even with the flashlight being off, so you can kind of spot where you put your flashlight. Did you lose your flashlight, etc., etc. One thing about the actual Wuben flashlight, though, it does swivel 180 degrees. So it goes from a forward-facing flashlight, which you could wear like on the, wear on the front of a belt or on the front of a bag. You can swivel this around and actually go to a forward-facing mode, which brings it to be similar to the Olight, which I think is fantastic that it does have that functionality. The Wuben also has an OLED screen, which tells you exactly which mode that you're in. So you see, I just click this here and it shows up as 1 lumen. And then as you click through the different modes, it kind of lets you know which mode you just jumped in, 50 lumens, 150 lumens, so forth and so on. And then if I want to double tap and actually jump to 700 lumen modes, it tells me that right there. So pretty nice. This one here, so this one just took me to a half a lumen mode. You kind of just have to remember the modes with the Olight. You don't have any indicators. So that takes me to half a lumen, and normal pressing this thing would take me to low mode. And then this goes all the way up to the high mode of 1200 lumens. And both of these are similar. They only can go for about a minute and a half before they begin to step themselves down to their high mode. So very capable flashlights, EDC flashlights, but I think that's where a lot of the comparisons do stop for these flashlights. One thing about the Olight is that you can easily remove the battery if you wanted to. So if you have an additional Olight battery laying around, you can throw it in the field and change it out very quickly, which might be useful instead of having to wait to charge it. Also, unlike the Wuben, you can use Olight's proprietary charger and charge this away from the case. I have not figured out a way to remove the battery. Maybe it can happen, but that is a limitation. However, you can't charge this away with a Wuben charger, but you can use a Qi wireless charger. So the Wuben allows for you to drop this on any Qi wireless charger on the very front here facing down, and this thing will immediately begin to charge, which I think is fantastic. The Olight charges in its case or with Olight's proprietary charger. So Wuben needs its case, or you can use a Qi wireless charger, one of those two. Bringing the cases in themselves, this case has more battery capacity, so this thing can charge your Olight up, I think, additional about 3 times. This can charge the Wuben light up about 2.5 times, which is basically tomato. However, once this thing is back in its case, one thing I like about it is that it immediately begins to charge mode, but also while it's in its case, unlike the actual Baton flashlight, you can use this as now a diffused lantern. So you want to hang this from a tree, if you want to hang this from a campsite or whatever, you can go to any of the lumen modes except for the turbo mode because you will probably burn the plastic. Now it's a diffused lantern or diffused light because of the front diffusion. So you can still use it while it's in its actual case, which makes so much sense. And as soon as you drop this thing in its case, it begins to charge. And while it's charging, it gives you an indicator light in the front that it is charging going on. This thing is fully charged. So once it is fully charged, though, the screen goes off. This does have a nice OLED screen. If it was charging, it would tell you at the top what percentage it was at while it was charging. The Olight here, once you drop it in its case, the indicator light does light up to let you know that it is charging. You also get a light down here as well. Normally we'll go red if it was charging. This is fully charged, so it's green already. That is, I will say that the Olight case feels a little bit better, but feelings don't matter when it comes to this next feature. So the Olight charger comes with a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. Fantastic. They both charge with USB Type-C. Here in the very front, you have the access for the USB Type-C here, and you can also push this little button here, which gives you an indicator of how much battery is left on the actual case. Here's a side charge for the Olight charging case. The Wuben's charging cable is significantly and objectively has more function than Olight's included cable. First of all, this thing works as a lanyard, so you can use this, simply attach it to the actual case itself back here, and you can take this whole thing and now wear this around your wrist, or you can actually put this thing on a keychain or whatever you want to do and have a fully functioning lanyard holder. But say, for instance, you want to keep these two things apart. You push this little button right here in the middle, and that exposes a USB-C to USB-C cable. So now you can simply charge the Wuben as normal. If you got a brick laying around, you can charge this thing up, or this thing acts as an actual battery bank. So I can take this thing, plug it up here, and I can take an additional item. So say, for instance, I even want to charge up this Olight case. I can take it, and literally the charging just started on the Olight case. You see the little red dot there lets you know that this is beginning to charge, because you can share your power with multiple different items. You can even charge up an iPhone, because within the actual Wuben's holder, there's a little additional cable right here, which hides a lightning cable. So you can pull this out, attach this here, and you can charge an iPhone with this actual charger, which I think is pretty sweet to be able to use this all-included flashlight as a battery bank. This is a 3,000 milliamp hour battery bank. So it's not going to fully charge an iPhone. Most iPhones and Android phones have batteries that are bigger than 3,000 milliamps. But if you're like 50%, it would take you from 50 to 100%. If you're at 0%, it's going to take you, probably like 0 to 70%. So that's better than nothing at all. Another thing about this charging cable is that if you flip it over, it actually gives you it has a ruler in millimeters. So if you can use that, use the conversion on there. So you have a little bit of ruler on the back. So a lot of functionality in a charging case, a charging cable, which I never imagined I would be so freaking excited. And I like the fact once it's back in its actual holder here, this thing is not coming, it's not coming apart very easily. The Wuben case feels a little bit more chalky. It does feel just a little bit more that over time, this is going to begin to gather the dirt from my phalanges or from the environment around it, and this is going to dirty faster. I've had this Olight flashlight case for well over a year, and it still looks brand new, and it does get rotated in my carry. So that is something to think about. But you can also get this case in black, and you don't even have to worry about those concerns. The flashlight comes in multiple colors as well. So the Olight, the flashlight by itself costs $69, and then you have to use Olight's proprietary charger, which comes in the box. If you want to get it in this package, it's $99, but they don't sell it in white anymore. I think you can only get it in red and black. I'll link up down below anywhere I can find this thing. So 99 bucks gets you the Olight flashlight, nice functionality. But if you want to spend $10 more, $109 gets you the Wuben X3 with this fantastic case, which is basically a battery bank. If you don't want to spend that money, you can spend, I think it's $89 and just get like a charging puck. So you lose the functionality of the charging case, but you get the flashlight for 89 bucks. For me, it's worth it to spend the additional $20 to get the battery bank functionality. The Olight does have a smaller footprint, but I'm okay with having the bigger footprint to get that dual functionality out of the flashlight. Wuben has been really killing it lately. I'm not going to do a review on the Wuben XO, but this is a super capable flashlight as well. My biggest complaint about it is that you can easily trigger it. It does have a lockout mode, but if you forget to lock it out, it does suck to have to always remember that to lock it out. This flashlight has a lockout mode as well, so I can turn this on by pushing this button, but if I push this button 4 times, it will lock it out. So now it does have a lock thing on there to let you know it's locked out, so you won't accidentally turn this thing on, and you push it 4 times to take that off. And once it's off, it goes to 1 lumen mode, and you're good to go. I like the fact it does have a red light. The red light uses 1 lumen, or I think the red light also uses 50 lumens. Let me see what it jumps up to. Yeah, 80 lumens. So it does 1 lumen or 80 lumens. But the significant thing about having a red light is that if you're rucking at night, you're walking at night, you don't want to mess up your night vision, a red light would be preferred. Really, I will prefer a green light, but I will take this as well. I also like this indicator light. It does kill the battery a lot faster because the indicator light is on when the flashlight is on. At least I haven't figured out how to use it by itself. But if you're rucking or walking, or you want people to see you a little bit better, especially if you're not using this in horizontal mode, if you are using this thing in the traditional forward-facing mode, then this is just going to let people see you a little bit better. Or if you want to see from a distance, if you accidentally left your flashlight on, I can see how this indicator light mode would make a lot of sense, but it will kill your battery pretty quickly. So I'll turn it off just for that use case scenario. Comment down below, which one of these two would you use for an EDC? They're both a little bit, they both have their advantages. If you want the Olight, the simplicity, the knurling has a better grip, and I think it has a more satisfying filling case. This case feels a little bit harder to open and close. You really got to kind of perfectly get it on that latch, or it kind of stays open, if you see that there. Where the Olight feels like you're closing a Zippo lighter or something like that. It doesn't have that issue at all. As much as I like the Olight Baton, it is time to update this thing. Flashlights, other flashlight companies are coming for your lunch money when they're coming out with features like this, when this thing is a diffusion, a battery bank, a charger, all in one. And you can also charge other so much sense is made out of this thing. I 100% think I would be okay with spending $109. Maybe I would see if I can catch it on a sale and maybe catch it below $100 because this thing is fantastic. And I've spent $89.99 on flashlights that don't have nearly this much functionality. Comment down below, which one of these two would you pick up? Do you already own the Olight? Are you thinking about grabbing the Wuben? I normally don't do these type of reviews. Finally, I would say this is the actual unboxing experience. I normally toss these freaking boxes when I get these things. This was incredible. It actually feels, you open it up, the flashlight was sitting here. There's another pull box where it exposed the actual charging case. And this was a nice unboxing experience. Now it's time to chunk the box. But I will say that if you're looking for somebody that seems to really care about their products and the way it's presented to you, Wuben is definitely hitting it out the park. Both of these are capable. But for my money, Wuben takes the cake. Wuben's going to be carried more often in my pocket than the Olight Baton 3. Would you make the same decision? I would love to know with your comments down below. If this is your first time stopping by, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you a part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, I'm not talking to you. You've already done what you needed to do. Thank you once again for being a part of the battalion, watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.